the heck? Hey. Hello, hello, hello. Two are watching. Okay. I'm very early, guys. If anybody's here, get into the chat. How you doing, Robert? Very early. Okay. I just wanted to give you guys as much time as I possibly can because there is a lot to go over. And sometimes that window of 1 hour is not enough. How you doing, Robert? So, I'm going to expect some videos from everybody. And there's some things I definitely have to address tonight. You have Morello's Master Studies, Bob. We want to work on a table of time. If you have that, can you get it out? And the workbook, of course. With the workbook, we're going to work with the levels because that seems to be an issue. And you know what? I've had that problem with a couple of my students. Why do I have to practice that? Why do I have to practice this? I want to get on a drum set and play. Well, fine. Now, that's a different platform. That's a different kind of lesson. This lesson that we're going to do tonight is about execution. Okay? Bob, can you play that table of time up to groupings of 6? And at what tempo if you play it? I'm going to go to 60. Okay? And we're going to do the table of time. Now, from what I see, that the first line, every note is accented. So therefore, full strokes. Okay? The second line, okay, you have eighth note, quarter note triplets, and every other note is accented. I don't like that. I like to accent all 3 notes. And the same thing with the eighth notes. Okay, so if I'm doing quarter note triplets, do you understand how to count quarter note triplets, Robert? quarter note triplets. I'm thinking, all right, if you want to get the book, Robert, go to my website, and I just put 2 new icons under Matt's product. You go to Matt's product and you'll see Tommy Igoe's Hands Forever, whatever, his book, or there's another book. All you need to do is hit on that. When you hit on that, that takes you directly to Hudson Music. You'll find it there. 1 and Okay, that's how I count the 8th note triplet. I count the 8th note triplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But I just play quarter notes, but I counted the 8th note triplet. Now, when you go to quarter note triplets, the law is the same. The rules are the same. A quarter note equals 2 8th notes. And when you have a bracket on top of that as a triplet, well, now that quarter note becomes 2 8th notes of the 8th note triplet. So if I did the first, I'm going to do it with one hand. 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the. Got it? Again, 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the. Now I'm demonstrating this without a tempo, without a metronome. So you understand line 1, 1, 2, line 2, 1, 3, and we go to the third line. Now again, the third line, I'm going to make all full strokes. The way he presents that is with one accent, 1 and 2 and, all right? I'm going to play that measure with all accents, so therefore they're going to be free strokes or full strokes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that takes care of the first 3 lines. Now we go, the fourth line now is just, see, 1, 2, 3, the fourth line is 8th note triplets. To me, that's where the level starts to appear. You're playing an 8th note triplet with an accent on the first stroke. So therefore, you're going to have down, up, tap, 2, and the, 3, and the, 4, and the. Okay? Then the 16ths appear. You're playing single strokes, 1 ienda, 2 ienda, 3 ienda, 4 ienda, and you're accenting the first stroke of the grouping of 4. Quintuplets, 1 E. Look at the level. 2 E and the, 3 E and the, 4 E and the. So that takes up to the grouping of quintuplets. Now we're going to go to quintuplets, quartuplets, whatever you want to call them, groupings of 5. Now, I'm not using the metronome, I'm not in tempo, I'm just demonstrating the beginning. All right, the grouping of 5, I'm starting here because I'm accenting the first stroke of the grouping. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got that? In the grouping of 6, I'm not going to count 1 and 2, and I'm not going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can, but man, I don't feel good about that counting. So I subdivide the count as instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm counting 1 and 2 and 3 and. So let's put the metronome on, and I'm going to play. I don't know how many times line 1, 2, 3. As I feel good with, I'll go to the next line. That's 60. That's my pulse. Can you hear the metronome, Bob? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So every quarter note, I got to get a grouping in there. So now I have 1, 2, 3. Just play it along, feel it, and then the second line, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. Next line, again, eighth note triplets, again, sixteenths, grouping of 5, six, did you understand that, Robert? We'll get to the 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s in a minute. But did you understand everything so far up to the groupings of 6? And whoever else is in here, please get in the chat. Ask questions. I don't bite. Did you understand that, Robert? And whoever else? Okay. So now that's up to 6s. I'm just going to play it again. I'll up the tempo to say 72. A little faster. 1, 2. Here we go. 3. Zap. Sixteenths, groupings of 5, 3, 4, 6. Gavin. Oh, thank you for the compliment, but my hands are really down right now. I'm having that issue with my left hand. Okay, we're working right now from Joe Morello's Master Studies 1, his Table of Time. Are you able to play that? You understand it? Any questions on it? Now remember, guys, if you don't have the book and you'd like to purchase it, whether it's a hardcover or a digital format. How you doing, Jim? Yeah, I was here for about an hour already, Jim. Anyway, if anybody wants to purchase whatever books they want to purchase, drum books, like I said, go to my website, mattpatellalivelessons.com. Go to Matt's Products. It'll open the page, and you'll see all different books of all icons of different books. I just added 2 books from Hudson Music. Okay, hit on one of them from Hudson Music. It takes you right to Hudson Music, and whatever drum book you would like to purchase, purchase it. Got that, Robert? How about you, Gavin? Do you have Joe Morello's Master Studies? And you, Jim? If not, you should get it, because we're going to do a lot of work from that, the workbook, the stick control formulas. But there's some issues, man. Like, I'm not getting any videos. I'm getting a few, but not, I want a lot more than I'm getting. I want to see everybody's hands, if you understand what I'm talking about when I execute the levels. Understanding the levels. You know, this is a technical issue. We're working on technique. We're not working on, when I go onto the drum set, we work on coordination. But we're not working on any particular style of music. We're not working on a particular part of a tune. This is about execution. That's what technique is. It's execution, how to execute clearly with a minimal amount of effort and be consistent to enhance your playing. Well, Master Studies 2 is just a continuation of Master Studies 1. I'll get to that in a second. Jim, all you have to do is go to my site, mattpatelalivelessons.com. When the page opens up, hit Matt's products. Now, when you come to Matt's products, you'll see 4 of the publications that I have for sale there. That's with another publishing company. But I just added 2 icons of 2 different books, and they're from Hudson Music. So you're not going to buy the book maybe that you see, but hit the picture of Tommy Igoe and another one. Hit it. It takes you right to Hudson Music, and you'll see them all there. Now, what are you curious about Master Studies 2? I mean, Master Studies 1's a trip, man. When I was studying with Joe, Master Studies 1 and obviously Master Studies 2 did not exist. What did I do? Okay? And we took, anything that I want, anything he gave me was written on manuscript paper. No, it's not out of print, Gavin. If you want to get Master Studies 2, go to, it was written by Modern Drummer, published by Modern Drummer, but it's no longer published. You can go to Hudson Music from my site, though. You go from my site. It takes you right to Hudson Music. You may only get the digital form. I don't have the book in front of me, Robert. I don't think. No, I don't. Sorry. Okay? But it says table of time. Quarter note triplets, eighth note triplets, sixteenths, groupings of 5, groupings of 6. Do you understand it, Robert? Jim, do you understand how to do that table of time? I'm going to demonstrate it again because I was very early, and I just wanted to hang out with you guys tonight, if you don't mind. Jim, Gavin, and Robert, do we all understand the table of time? Do we have any questions on it? You understand it, okay. How about you, Jim and Gavin? You absolutely understand it, okay. I'm going to do it again at 72. And I'm going to stop at groupings of 6. I might play line 1 a couple times and line 2, a couple more times. And hey Troy, how you doing? No set pattern, just 1, 2. This is line 1, line 2. 3, 4, eighth note triplets. Watch the levels. The groupings of 4. Groupings of 5. Son of this left hand. Sorry, guys. Groupings of 5s. Let me get into that again. Sorry. 6. Wasn't as clean as I want. Sometimes that left finger locks up on me, and that's not arthritis. That comes from the, it's from the spine that it's coming from. Okay? Well, some of my favorite drummers, they're all favorites of mine. I like to listen to some more than I like to listen to others. You know, Max Rhodes, Elvin Jones, Grady Tate, me. There's a fellow that's on one of the Facebook groups. I mean, this guy is, to me, one of the most well-rounded drummers that I know personally, okay? His name is John Berger, and he has the degree from Juilliard School of Music. This guy plays everything. You know, and he did a few shows for me. All right, he has done a few shows. His name is John Berger, and he talked about percussion, and he actually studied with Gary Chester, the New Breed. Remember that? And you know, we became friends, and he's a really nice guy, and he knows a lot about music. So one time he says to me, "Hey Matt, I'm playing down the road from your studio. Why don't you get a chance? Why don't you stop in? It's a heavy metal gig." And here's this guy. He goes all over the place, all over the country doing shows on Broadway, in Seattle, Washington, D.C., so all over the place. And he's playing all these shows. Now, you need an ability to read well. And we're not just talking about playing drum set. We're talking about playing timpani, bells, glockenspiel, marimbas, and all that good stuff. And the guy cuts it. And when he said he's playing a heavy metal good, I said, yeah, right, I got to hear this. Man, I went down to hear this guy play with the heavy metal band. He nailed it. To me, that's a well-rounded drummer. And that's a total utmost respect I have for a person like that. That took a lot of hard work. As far as my listening avenues are, I tell you, I mean, I grew up on Buddy Rich and Gene Krupa, especially Gene Krupa. And then Louis Bellson, then Joe Morello, and then Max Roach, Elvin Jones, you know, all those guys. And as far as rock drummers are concerned, well, to me, you know, that's fine. I respect what they've accomplished, but I don't go out of my way from, you know, to listen to any of theirs. Alan Dawson's another one. I mean, Alan Dawson took over the chair, or was the head of the percussion department at Berklee College of Music. And then when Joe Morello left Brubeck, Dawson took over. Dawson's a hell of a drummer, man. You know? Well, John Berger, when things settle down with all this stuff, he's going to definitely come and do a couple of shows. But I've studied a little bit of Alan Dawson. Alan Dawson, you know, a lot of guys went to Alan Dawson. And he has a lot of discoveries utilizing the syncopation book and the stick control book. And I've taken some of his ideas and expanded on them. Alan Dawson is a great musician. Okay? Oh, Jim, if anybody want to buy the what you call, the Mike Clark's new edition, it's available on Hudson Music. You know how to get there from my site, okay? Yeah, but John Berger, man, he's a very well-versed drummer. I really have the utmost respect for that guy. And then, of course, there's my other friends who I have total respect for, Alan Herman. Now, Alan Herman, when I first met him, I said, who the hell is this guy? He had hair down to his shoulders and a beard down to his belly. And I thought, whoa, he looks scary. But he was the original drummer for Jesus Christ Superstar. And then from there, he was with the group, what the hell was it? Oh, geez, I forgot the name of the group. He was playing with a rock band. But Alan Herman is a well-rounded drummer as well. Mostly classically trained. Okay? Dennis and Paul, timeout chair. That's it. I was very, very early today. I started maybe 20 minutes to 7. That's okay, guys. We're going to go over some stuff. But Alan Dawson most definitely is a great player and a great teacher. And then when Alan Dawson left Berklee, Gary Chaffee took over the chair as the head of the percussion department. Okay? And Gary Chaffee's another one. My goodness, all these great drummers out there. And I learned from every single one of them. Now, you missed my announcement, dear Dennis and Paul. If you need any books from now on, drum books, you go to my site. Hit on Matt's products. You'll see some icons there from Hudson Music. Hit on them. They'll take you directly to Hudson Music, and there you have 9,000 drum books you can purchase. Let's see. Thank you, Jimmy. Anyway, yeah, Alan Dawson is, he taught like, who's that? Tony Williams, man. Now, Tony Williams had a great concept, musical concept. But, there's the one book he had, The Rudimental Rituals. Man, that's a difficult book. Horst, how you doing? Horst, you know what? I'm going to buy you a book and send it to you. All right? You're definitely going to get the book. No problems, okay? I mean, I've been bugging this guy, and I've been working on my website, working on lessons and doing streaming. It's pretty hard. So, you know what? I'm just going to go out and buy you a book and send it to you from Hudson. How's that sound? Whatever. All right. Anyway, the table of time. Do you have, Hoist, Joe Morello's Master Studies 1? Do you have that book? If not, get it, because we're going to do some work from there. That's great for the level system. Now, this afternoon, what we were doing was, I was kind of like going over the levels. Okay? And it just seems, because I've been getting some videos where those levels, man, you better, tweak them. Simple. If you know that this is a full stroke, this is a downstroke, this is a tap, and this is an upstroke, all right, you're good. But now, knowing that and applying that, two different worlds. I want to bring out, again, the single paradiddle. All right, I call this the alternating paradiddle, because the first paradiddle starts with the right, right, left, right, right. Then the second paradiddle starts with the left, left, right, left, left. Now, it's actually line 5 in the stick control book. And I'm going to play that without accents, line 5. And I'm going to play it in eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And my sticking heights were totally the same on the right and the left. Therefore, technically, scientifically, the laws of physics, the right hand and the left hand sounded equal. So I was at one position, and I was obtaining one sound. Now, if I'm going to go right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, and accent the first stroke of the paradiddle, the right-hand paradiddle and the left-hand paradiddle, something occurs. Now, I have to agree with the students here. I'm sorry, I didn't create the rules, but the rules are the rules, and you should follow them. Okay? So, how do we get it? You gotta do this slow. You gotta humble yourself to this and have patience. It's difficult to sit there and practice for 3 minutes. Downstroke, upstroke, tap, tap. After 3 minutes seems like an eternity. But what you're doing is reinforcing what occurs when you play the paradiddle. Okay, so I'm going to first do it without a metronome, but I'm going to maintain the levels, and I'm going to explain the levels. First off, my starting position, if I'm going to start with the right hand accent, is like this. Now, I don't want to look like a robot or want you guys to think I'm stiff, but this is the position you are in when you're playing the paradiddle. This is slow, slow, slower, slowest motion. Okay? This is what occurs with the motion. I start here. I'm going to accent the first stroke. Good for me, I did it. But look at my sticks. They're in the same heights. Now the second stroke of that paradiddle has to be an upstroke. Why? Now I'm in position to nail my up and coming accent, which is on the left side. And tap, tap to complete it. But notice my upstroke and my tap all sounded the same. The only one that sounded different was the downstroke for the accent. Ah, gee, come on, Matt. That is what occurs if you're playing the paradiddle with a minimal amount of energy and totally relaxed in developing the sound. This is not how you play a paradiddle. You don't start here. You come up and come down and complete it, then come up and come down. That's not it. What you need to do is humble yourself. Get that right. Be consistent with your practice. Yeah, you don't want to play some rock patterns or jazz patterns or whatever you're going to play on a drum set, but that's it. The more you do this, the more you reinforce that natural ability, you're making it stronger. You're controlling what you do. There is no other way to play a single paradiddle with an accent on the first stroke and getting in position for the up and coming accent. You can play this like it is. You can play this. I can't even do it. You can play it like that, but you're not getting here. No way. You guys understand what I'm telling you? You understand what I'm saying? That's important. Sure, man, you know, like I said this afternoon, it's kind of difficult to sit there and do that for 3-4 minutes. But if you want to go forward with the paradiddle or understanding the levels, that's the first thing right there, okay? It's hard to do that, especially if you're not, you know, you only have an hour a day to practice or a half hour a day to practice. I can't do that no more. And especially too, if you're practicing something like that and you have a set of drums behind you and they're yelling your name, hey Matt, hey Matt. You know, it's hard, but you have to be disciplined. That's paying your dues. You're emphasizing, you're exaggerating the motion. That's what's occurring. See that? And you want to grow with the metronome. So for example, I'm going to play this in quarter notes. That's my quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll do that for 2-3 minutes. Then I'll up the metronome and say to 70. 72 is better. And I'll play them as quarter notes again. Watch. 1, 2, 3. Now it's faster, but the motion's still there. And I'm going for that sound, that consistent sound. That accent is smacked. The other 3 notes are all of the same volume, but the motion, you have a downstroke, an upstroke, and taps in there. So you need to work with that. Now yesterday or the day before, I gave you some paradiddle rudiments from the Charlie Wilcoxon book. Okay, and I was shifting the accents around. Now, that's similar, actually, if you think it's not, I refer to this as Joe Morello's Master Studies because it's similar with the concept, not the lines. Now, the first line you see was the single paradiddle, which was, you remember that, guys? You have the PDFs on that, right? That was the paradiddle with the shifting of accents. And the second one, the accent shifted over to the E. And this is what you need to understand. If I'm starting with the accent on the downbeat, this is my position. starting position. That's what's occurring. If I want to start with the accent on the second beat of the paradiddle, here's where I am. Reversed. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and so on and so forth. If you want me to go over these again, see, it's partially, well, I'd say 3/4, my fault. And I sincerely apologize. Me thinking that I'm doing some, guys here, I'm justifying my lessons, I give you too much work. And it doesn't give you enough time to zone in on one particular area. You guys agree with that? So I won't do so much work from now on. Do you agree? No response. Okay. Now the workbook. Let's go to the work. You understand that you got to get the levels going on and the table of time. Let's go to where we left off in the workbook. I mean, not the workbook, the stick control book formulas. And this has to do with our lesson that we're working on the levels. Now, I'm going to go over 3 different variations of the vamp with the accent moving around. The first variation, all right, is just 8th note vamp. We already know that. Put me up the metronome. I'll fall asleep. And that's not a good example. Huh. And I put it on 103. I'm going to play just 8th notes. 4 measures of 8th notes with my right hand, 4 measures of 8th notes with my left hand. So I'm going to have this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and easy. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. Left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. Right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. Left hand. 1, 2. All right, that's a part of the vamp, okay? All right, well, that's a good statement there. Well, I mean, I've overwhelmed you, Paul. I understand that. And now, old dog there is, yeah, man, give me whatever you want. It helps me. And then sure, whatever I do, without a doubt, it should help you. But I'm not giving it a chance for you guys to let it grow. Okay? I mean, I don't know. It's my fault. It really is. Because I'm assuming you guys understand the levels. That's why I'm insisting upon videos. Old dog, could you make me a video of the single paradiddle? Paul, could you make me a video of the single paradiddle? Jim, Robert, Hoist, all you guys. Gavin, just send it to my email. Okay? Now, what is this, Dennis? What do you mean, what formula? We're in the formula number 38. But listen to what I'm saying. Send me a video in my mailbox. Send it to email me. Show me, demonstrate to me how you're doing the single paradiddle. That's all. A 2-3 minute video. I want it like this. Down, up, tap, tap. Down, up, tap, tap. Oh, by the way, Paul, I watched your videos, man. Are you playing the jazz patterns? You sound real nice, man. Real nice. I feel good about that. You got the formula? Number 20 and 38, rather. But, you don't need the book for this guy. It's in the book. You can find it. But I'm just saying, number 38, we're doing 8th note vamps. I'm demonstrating first the 3 8th note vamps I'd like you to learn or know and practice, more so than actually learning them. You're doing 4 measure increments, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 2 and 2 and 3, 4, 3 and 2 and 3, 4, 4 and 2 and left we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 2 and 2 and 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, and 1 and 2 and 3. That's the first one. You know, let me up the tempo here. Let me go to 150. Don't you guys, if you can't do it clean and equal, don't go to 150. If you can, do it. Here's 150. 4 and 4. All right, left hand, don't fail me now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, left hand. 2, 3, 4, right hand. 3, 2, 3, 4, left hand. 3, 4. Okay, so I'm just demonstrating a straight eighth note vamp, which we utilize with the stick control book. But I mean, I could do all kinds of crazy things with the vamp. This is step one. Getting that sound on the right and the left sounding the same. Now, I'm going to refer to this as the eighth note vamp family. We have straight eighth notes, 1 and 2 and no accent. Okay? Now the second, number 2 of this particular family, we're going to drop an accent on the counts of 1 and 3. So now, it is this, but something has to change. So I got to get in position to nail the accent on the counts of 1 and 3. So you want to start this guy all slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Three, left hand. It hurt. 3, I'm sorry guys, it locked up again on me. I apologize. But do you understand? Oh man, left hand, why did you do that? I got a big bruise over here for some reason. Sorry guys. But that's the second one. You're playing the eighth note. You're playing in eighth notes. You're accenting 1 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you got. Okay? Now the third one of that family is now the accent now is going to shift over to the and of 2 and the and of 4. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's the first family, and I'm going to stay just on that. Tomorrow, we'll go on to the second one with the triplets, and the third one with the 16th notes. So you have just the first family of the vamp, the accent on the counts of 1 and 3, the accent, first of no accent, 1, then accent on 1 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Then on the ands, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and on both sides, right hand and left hand. Do it slow. We're not in a contest. Who's the fastest, who's the better, all that nonsense bullshit. Now, if you have time, inside of your practicing, go to the guys who have the stick control book formulas, go to formula number 38. It all is the same as we were doing with the eighth notes. It's expanding on those 3 forms. Now, I'm not going to refer to these as a vamp. This is an accent development levels incorporated exercises. If you look at the first guy, it's just a straight eighth notes. But now the accent now is on the counts of 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, Now, if you do the first three I said slow, you could open this up line one, slow, you got it. But see, you guys have to understand. I sit behind a set of drums and I play with a band. I'm not thinking of downstroke, upstroke, tap, tap. It's there because I practice it, and that's separating practicing from playing. Do we understand that? Dennis, you there? Everybody left or maybe got booted. But that's what I'm doing, okay? So you could do all of that. Now, what I want are videos, man. And I'm not demanding them. I mean, it's only for your benefit. You send videos of something, like the single paradiddle, or doubles, or the table of time. Just label it. I'm not asking for you to do a 20-minute video. I'm not putting any pressure on you. I just like to see the results. Okay? Thank you, Robert. Okay, Dennis, you're going to send me that video of the paradiddle, right? And don't worry, guys. I'm not going to upload up to YouTube and say, look at this guy. No, I'm not going to do that. Like I said, it's a personal thing between instructor and student, okay? And what it's telling me is what you're doing, if it's correct or incorrect, or if you're almost correct, to tweak it a little bit, or whatever. It's only for your benefit. Okay? Now, like I promised, with the stick control formulas, and maybe not the workbook, and the rudiments, and some reading. Like I got an email this afternoon from Stacy, and she visited the site, and she went over to the student section, and she's seen all these PDFs and all these videos. Well, yeah, they're stored there. And if you're members of my site, you can get in there. Now, what I did a couple years back, I wrote 4 different books, okay? I wrote Reading Text in 4-4, Reading Text in 6-8, Ostinato Patterns, and Rudimental Fun. And what I have back there, if you have the book Reading, it's for beginners to very advanced. And I've made videos of note for note, for example, video number 1, page 1, measure number 1, measure number 2, until I completed the video. And I've done that through the whole books. I didn't really get to the rudimental stuff or the ostinato stuff because, I got, again, sidetracked. Okay. Pros make their students do the same thing, huh? I guess I'm not a pro. I'm one of the guys, that's all. Hey, Troy, rather. Are you going to purchase the workbook? I mean, not the workbook, the, the formulas? You can get them in PDF or the hardcover. Just do the first one. Dennis, just do the first guy. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see 1, 2, 3, 4. Then lift. That's not right. You're not wrong playing right, left, left, left. But the motion in there is not right. You got to get that. You want to get them faster, you have to do that. Well, you know what to do, Troy. You need to send, where do you live at, Troy? You live in the U.S.? If you live in the U.S., I could send it to you. If you live outside of the U.S., I can't send it. I could send you the PDFs. So, you want the hardcover, you have to go to PayPal and put it in my PayPal account. As soon as I get notification, boom, I'll drop it in the mail for you. How's that sound? Okay? Now, do we have any questions on tonight's lesson or this afternoon's lesson? Again, I don't want to overwhelm anyone, but I'm always up for a revisit or review, so to speak. That's not a problem, Troy. I could send it to you, Colorado Springs. So, Jim, Dennis, Troy, Robert, Paul, Hoist, do we all understand it? And remember, if you need any drum books, go to my site, Matt's Products, hit on the icon of, say, Tommy Igo or whoever else is there. It sends you right to Hudson Music. And there's like all the world's drum books. Okay. You don't really need a PayPal account. I mean, if you have a credit card or you have a debit card, PayPal accepts that as well. Okay? PayPal is not a credit card. So, I overwhelm everybody, I guess, and I apologize. I get excited. I love to do what I do. And I want to give everybody the most I possibly can in such little time. And that is wrong. It's not wrong. It's just out of love. But what happens is I don't give you an opportunity. I don't give you an opportunity to get what I gave you 2 days ago and work on it. I'm not going to cut down on the lesson times, maybe occasionally. But for now, it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 2 times a day, 1 and 7, okay? And even if we have to just review, we will. Because when I do a review or I'm repeating my lesson, I feel like I'm not being just to you guys. Can you understand that? All right. It's only 45 minutes I've been on it. You want me to go over anything else? You want to go home and practice? I mean, go practice or make some videos? It's up to you guys. Oh, here's what you want. I get so overwhelmed, I'm cuckoo. Now, what you guys want to do is go to your local hardware store. I mean, you have Home Depot, you have Lowe's, or you have Ace Hardware, or whatever town you live in, they have a hardware store. What I have here is a timer. I have 3 or 4 of these guys, and I bought them maybe 10, 12 years ago. Okay? And what I do is I set my timer for 2, 3, 4 minutes, and I want to run paradiddles at a certain tempo without stopping. Play it for 3, 4 minutes. Or if I want to vamp for 10 minutes, it's a good tool to have. Now, how do you get started with brushes? First, you got to have a set of brushes. We'll get to brushes when I get back to the drum set. Right now, I need to really, really clarify this stuff. I need some evidence that what I'm doing, showing you, you're understanding. Okay, gentlemen? Any problems? So I'm going to knock it off. I need to get a cigarette, number one, and then my dinner. Nah. And I'm going to be, yep, it's very handy to have. Absolutely, Hoist. What I'm starting to do is work on the rudimental background as, well, yeah, you could use a clock with a second hand, but the alarm goes off on the timer so that, because sometimes 3, 4 minutes seem like an eternity. And I've done that without a timer, is look at the second hand. And I said, was that the first time I went around? The second time I forget. Okay, Dennis. All right. I was just going to say something. Oh, binga bonga. Oh, I'm still working on a syncopation book formulas, and here and there I'm putting in the rudimental background breakdown. And I'll give you an example. Well, the 5-stroke roll, the paradiddle, all that stuff with the levels. I'm implementing the levels. if anybody has the Buddy Rich book, I don't know if this has been revised. Okay, Troy. Anyway, you have a good evening as well. Anyway, if you have the Buddy Rich book, I could demonstrate a little bit of a breakdown of either the three-stroke rough or four-stroke rough. Do we all have the Buddy Rich book, guys? I'll spend a little bit more time, guys. You have the Buddy Rich book? I'll explain the Adler system and the level system. And you make a decision what's better. So tell me somebody has to have the Buddy Rich book. All right, you don't need to buy it. All right, you don't have to buy it. I'll send you the PDFs on it when you get the book. All right, let me explain the three-stroke rough. It's used, but it's not actually referred to sometimes as a three-stroke rough. Okay? All right, now a three-stroke rough is what it means, three strokes. Now, Henry Adler, when he wrote the book, presented that in a measure of 4/4. And he put 3 quarter notes in a quarter note rest. And the sticking pattern was right, left, rest. Left, right, left, rest. A three-stroke rough with the accent on the last stroke. Now, open it up, Jim. Now, when he presented that, he used the Adler system, which, you know, Henry Adler was a decent drummer, believe it or not. But the Adler system was more of a commercialized way of teaching. It was stiff. It was not tension-free. And some of it was ridiculous. But Henry Adler had to use a seesaw method and a pinching technique. That pinching technique would tighten your hand up and supposedly give you more power for the accent. So I'm going to play the first one that was presented in the Buddy Rich book using the Adler system. This I do not use. This does not occur when you're playing a three-stroke rough. But I'm going to demonstrate it anyway. I'm starting here. Like if it was field drumming, it would be 1, 2, squeeze, 4. I squeeze that stick on the third stroke to nail the accent, but yet I'm all tense. And how the hell are you going to get speed like this? It's very stiff. Now, that's his way. And he made he made a fortune. Only because he had Buddy Rich's name on the book. That's all. Said Buddy Rich in collaboration with Buddy Rich. Man, Buddy Rich didn't play that shit. Anyway, it was a commercial way of teaching. He teach you the whole Buddy Rich book. He'll teach you how to read using the Adler system very stiff. And then after 4 years of constant taking lessons with him, he'd loosen you up a little bit. Okay? You got to be loose, no tension. In the meantime, you got calluses and you got muscles in your hands that you don't need. Now, anyway, the three-stroke rough, down to I call it ground zero. Okay? I hope you can hear me. Sorry. It's ground zero, I call it, okay? And I'm going to utilize the levels. It's 3 quarter notes, and on the third quarter note, you accent. Now, from your understanding of the levels, you should start here. And it's just simple. 1, 2, 3. You son of a... Sorry. Don't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you hear the difference? There are two different sounds there. One is non-accented, and the other one is accented. Now, that's what occurs when I play a three-stroke rough. It's demonstrated in a quarter note formation. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a problem. Now you take it to another zone, and you start 2/8 notes in a quarter note, 2/8 notes in a quarter note, and yet the motion is still the same. Okay? 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember? 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Up, tap, down, up, tap, down. Okay? That's the second formation. The third formation, you reverse it. You put the quarter note in front, and you start here. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. It's just a very basic rudiment. Or you could do the 16th notes and an 8th note. 1 E N, 2 E N, 3 E N, 4 E N. Reverse that. 1 and 2 E and 3. So that's 4 or 5 different variations there. But the absolute three-stroke rough, rudimentally, is notated or documented or written with 2 little grace notes and a quarter note. Okay? The grace notes are very, very close to the drum, but the same motion occurs. And the way I count these is a little wacky. I don't know what you would want to call the Adler finger control. I don't know. It was the Adler stupid control is what it was. All right? Anyway, I play the 2 grace notes into a quarter note. And I count. I'm going to do it slow. Did the 1. Did the 1. See it? And I make those 2 grace notes close to the quarter note. Then you have the 3-stroke rough single paradiddle, 3-stroke rough double paradiddle, 3-stroke rough triple paradiddle, all those good things. Okay? Well, that's good to have, Horst, because put it in your library, and I'll demonstrate a few things, but I'm rewriting a lot of different things for the rudiments with a breakdown with the levels in them. That's how you play it. You know, you could sit there for years and try to get, did the 1, did the 2, stiff, and they're not going to go anyplace. What occurs, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, that was the one hand, okay? Then you have the 4-stroke rough, the 5-stroke rough, 6-stroke roll, 7-stroke rough, 7-stroke roll, 9-stroke rough, 9-stroke roll, 10-stroke roll, 11-stroke roll, 13-stroke roll, 15, and 17. Okay? Then you get into your flam rudiments. You know, your flam, the alternating flam, the flam taps, the Swiss Army triplet, flam paradiddles, patty flaffas, the windmill. Who is this, Sonnet? How are you, Sonnet? Is this your first time here? And where are you from? I do this 8 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. One is at 1 p.m. The other one is at 7 p.m. I was very early tonight, because I love doing this. But anyway, what you'd like to do, or you should do if you want to continue coming, is I'm going to give you my email, and you can email me, and I'll add you to my mailing list, and you'll get the week's agenda. Okay? You'll get the week's agenda and PDFs if needed. Seattle, Washington, the other side of the United States. Good. I had a guy from Seattle about 3 years ago, and he was doing the online lessons with me. Then he decided to come and see me personally and take a week's worth of lessons. And he came all the way from Seattle, Washington, and he stayed a whole week. From 12 o'clock noon to 6 o'clock every day, 5 days it was. And I had the same thing from San Diego, California, from Houston, Texas, from we're all over the place, man. So just email me. There it is, Matt Patella 1001 at gmail.com. Yeah, you could ask questions and comments, but the most important thing right now is if you get on my mailing list, give me a little description of yourself and how long you've been playing or what kind of music you play or how long you've been studying, so on and so forth. And bottom line is, I might not answer it immediately, but I will. And I just need to put you on my mailing list. So like I said, you'll get the week's agenda, the time and location, because I have a different location other than this. Okay, guys? Now, if you would have came at, like, I started at 6:45 tonight, we would almost be here for an hour. So I need to lock it up until tomorrow, 1 p.m., this channel. Any questions before I lock up? If not, I will just stop streaming. Videos, guys. No questions. All right, I'm going to shut down, and we'll see everybody tomorrow at 1 p.m. Okay. Have a good night.